Chris Charlton for KaijuPop.com, and this cheery fellow, and what we're playing today is Kero Blaster, the latest game from Daisuke Amaya, also known as Pixel, who's best known for Cave Story, which is a greatly, a hugely fondly remembered Japanese indie game. So Pixel's kind of become known as, like, I suppose the ambassador for Japanese indies. And this Kero Blaster has been a little while coming. First of all, it was announced for iOS back last year at the Bit Summit conference in Kyoto, and then it got kind of delayed, and now it's finally out on iOS, also PC. You can get that off Players Insight right now. It's $5 on both, I believe. And it's unlike Cave Story, which was very kind of, a little bit of a punishing Metroidvania style game. Here we have lots of discrete stages. You are the frog, hence the name Kero, and you have to move through these platforming stages, shooting things up. Kind of a typical left-right virtual button setup on iOS here, which I'm not entirely convinced by. These buttons are a little bit small for my tastes, but you've also got a jump, which is fairly reliable. And shooting is interesting because you always kind of face in one direction, but you actually flick the shoot button to shoot to the right, shoot to the left, and shoot upwards. So from there I can move left and right and do that. And that's pretty cool, quite clever and quite neat. And the thing with Kero Blaster is that you've got all sorts of blasters. It's all about the weapons in Kero Blaster, and so you get a ton of these. You get a new weapon at the end of every stage. And they've each kind of got their own strengths and weaknesses. So this one, which is your default opening weapon, has a really long range on it, for instance. This one lets you hit things kind of above and below you because it's got a very wide area effect, but it's got a short range. And this one is pretty weak, but these bubbles will bounce back and forth, and they'll float on water as well. So yeah, I mean, I've gotten a new sort of weapon at every stage thus far. Oh crap, I'm getting absolutely beaten to death here. So, as that might suggest, I've only played through 3 stages so far, so I'm quite early on. But yeah, I really like the idea of continually getting new stuff. It's pretty good at that so far. Early doors, yeah, of course. And there is this idea of continually whoops, I want what's in that safe, of continually upgrading your character. There's a shop in each stage, and you want to get as much cash as you can, so you can upgrade your weapons and go further. And well, yeah, a fairly simple, fairly straightforward kind of game here, but with a big sense of fun. The music's great. I'll shut up for a second so we can listen to it. Oh no. And it's full of kind of little surprises, I guess, in these kind of set piece encounters and bosses and things like that. Kind of innocuous looking creatures in the environment that, yeah, there's almost kind of a funny sense of I don't know, you being a bit of a bastard in this game. So that's gonna land on my head, the chandeliers here. Because you're sent to these places by it's I don't know, is being what? Is being, can you say this game is very Japanese? Is that a thing? I'm not sure it is anymore, but like, it's when people used to say, oh, this game is very Japanese, I think that's and that was a compliment, then that's what Kero Blaster is. It's got a big sense of humor and a big sense of fun, and these weird beasts This guy's just hurling books at me. And yeah, you're ordered to these places, oh, crap, by a cat lady who is the president of your company, and you're sent in, basically, you're kind of, I think the idea is you're some sort of ecological conservationist, and that is your job. And so I don't know, I like the fact that your frog here just has a very sort of blank expression on his face as he's going about this task. And these creatures don't tend to bother you. This mole guy, okay, he's a little bit more defensive, but a lot of the enemies in this game, like this bat creature, probably wouldn't bother me if it wasn't for the fact that I'm shooting at him, but I'm very sort of dispassionately going about my task of wrecking their lives and things. And yeah, there's a great sense of character, and hopefully we'll get through this stage. I'm not exactly sure we will. So you can see some of the dialogue here. It's got a great sense of humor to it anyway, and that's what really appeals, and I think gets you through the fact that probably iOS isn't the ideal platform for it, just because of, you know, if you don't like touch button controls, you know, virtual button controls rather, then, you know, forewarned is forearmed, because there are those. That's a little secret down there. So we can get to this safe and blow it up. Let me get all this money, because I'm definitely going to need to buy an extra life, so I hope we get to the shop soon. Nope. Still no shop. We really need a shop. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this stage doesn't have a shop. I'm just gonna get... I am not gonna make it through here, guys. Womp womp. Okay, this is the first time I've had a sort of game over, so I wake up in hospital with this cat guy. Yeah, sure. Okay, and you can buy stuff at the shop here. So if I get heart boost, then I get one more piece of energy in there. So you see, even if you die, and I imagine I will die a lot, then there's sort of still means to get through the game, because you do get, you know, it is that thing of you getting a little bit of currency each time, which kind of makes the game a little bit easier than the next time you go in. So that's cool. Let's have one more shot at this, see if we can get through it. Okay, I know what to expect now. And there is that, and you know, I think Pixel obviously sort of very fond of NES era, sort of Famicom era games. There is this big Famicom feel to Kero Blaster, and you know, I think there is that design sensibility of, oh, okay, I know what to expect now. I can get a little bit further next time. So it is a tough game, but by and large fair. You know, I think as long as you sort of get through the controls, perhaps not being ideal on you know, on the phone, but there again, I would say probably if you play your indie games on PC, then I can kill these things. I can kill the chandeliers. And I shall, just because. Yeah, if you're fond of playing your indie stuff on PC, then I would suggest playing this on PC and doing it with a proper controller. Yoop. Stitch you. I think I'm doing much better this time, so. So I mean that's like part of the appeal. I think what's about this is the fact that you are getting all of this equipment, but just all too often in any kind of game, it's you get extra weapons throughout, and it's, oh, this is just a more powerful version. You know, Y is a more powerful version of X. But because there are just very strong benefits and drawbacks to every weapon so far, anyway. You get a real sense of constantly switching between that stuff and managing it, and that is good. And I think now I can probably take out more man over here. I wonder if that will reach out. Well, good. Yay! Was that the actual boss, or was that just the mini-boss? I'm sure there may be further to go here. Yeah, there may be further to go. There is further to go. Still, I can upgrade my stuff here. So, let's upgrade the bubbles to balloons. Oh, I don't have enough cash to do that. Terrible. Oh well. Let's get more health then. Can't do that either. Dear dear, maybe boned. Bubbles kill me for some reason. I'm not sure. Or do I need oxygen or something? It's gonna go all Sonic on me. Fox can swim, right? Oh, I see. Okay, so I think I can float on top of this. There we go. Extra life. So. Them burning through here. That was a poor state of affairs there. Why are there bookcases and sofas underwater? Oh no. Get through checkpoint at least. Hello. Oh, I see. And so far, I mean, I think from a a controls perspective, maybe not ideal on iOS, but from a level of challenge standpoint, I think it's well paced for iOS. I'm not sure what the PC version is like, but this isn't too switch. It's not like, you know, given the movement speed and the fact we've got virtual buttons, it's not like they've gone the ill-advised route of making it you know, a sort of, you know, a Meat Boy style super Twitch experience. It is. I need to use my bubbles here, I think, or head underwater. Well, here, guys. Crap. I'm determined to at least get to the end of this bit. Can't pass this guy. Where is he? You gonna pop up anytime soon? Ah, there you are. And I have better luck underwater than above it. I appear to have pissed him off somewhat. That's not good. And squished in the corner there. That was so close. I think I've been, rather than artfully doing my job of reading patterns and whatnot, I think instead I have foolishly been just trying to brute force him. And again, I think actually, let's use our bubbles. The bubbles are ridiculously underpowered and I didn't have enough cash to upgrade them. But these, he seems to be a little bit easier to avoid if I'm here, but I've only got one hit left. Well, womp womp. There was a little bit of a cutout there with the capture software, apologies about that. But yeah, as you might expect, didn't make it to the end there. And that's the end of me. I'm going to keep trying, but not on this video, I think. So yeah, Kero Blaster, it's out now, iOS and PC, $5 on each. I would suggest probably getting it for one of those, because it's very strange and funny and fun. It's pretty good. Chris Chant for kaijupop.com, thanks for watching, bye bye.